The World Health Organization says the first detected Ebola case in the eastern city of Goma could be a game changer. The WHO is worried the outbreak could spread to neighbouring countries. It's convening an emergency committee to reassess the situation.
The United Nations Health Agency's chief, Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus, says he would reconvene an emergency committee to decide if the outbreak now constitutes an international health emergency. He was speaking at an event organized by the World Health Organization for the coordination of humanitarian affairs. The agency is also looking to raise more funds to control the outbreak and bring the number of cases to zero.
The identification of the case in Goma could potentially be a game changer in this epidemic. Goma is a city of 2 million people near the border with Rwanda and is a gateway to the region and the world. We're confident in the measures we're put in place and hope that we will see no further transmission of Ebola in Goma. Nevertheless, we cannot be too careful. I have therefore decided to reconvene the emergency committee as soon as possible to assess the threat of this development.
The UN's Chief Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs, Mark Lowcock, says during the first phase of the 2014 West Africa outbreak, more than $2 billion in support had been provided by the international community. That outbreak was the worst in history and more than 11,000 people died.
So far, only a small fraction of what was spent on West Africa has been available for the DRC, and there's absolutely a requirement now for substantially more money, running into several $100 million during the course of the remainder of this year, to be available to bring the outbreak under control. And what I say to those who are considering financing the response is it will be much cheaper and more effective to have a scaled up response now than to have a lukewarm approach, which isn't properly financed, because if we do that, we'll find we're dealing with this problem for much, much longer, and it'll cost a lot more money, and it'll take a lot more lives.
The United Nations added that without an immediate and dramatic increase in the financial support, it will be impossible to tackle the outbreak.